Hi guys, we are going to talk about stress today. We talk about stress here a lot, but today I want to nerd out a little bit and teach you some neuroscience, okay? I am obsessed with this topic, as you know, and I think we all need to spend some time here discussing how our brains work. Okay, human beings are not designed to be stressed out all the time. This stress that you're under is, at the most basic level, a symptom of how your nervous system interacts with this fast and modern life, okay? Humans possess a bunch of nerves that originated in the brainstem. The vagus nerve, I'm sure you heard of it, is one of them. This vagus nerve is part of your autonomic nervous system. What is autonomic mean? Okay, it means that it operates at the subconscious level. It's autonomic because you don't think about it. Okay, this is what developed first in our brain. It developed millions of years ago, and it has two branches. The first one that developed first is called sympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic nervous system ensures that our physical survival and the survival of our genes, it's there, okay? Its primary job is to engage in a fight, flight, or freeze response. We talked about that quite a bit in a lot of different videos that I do. I talk about that. This is where your amygdala is in charge. You might have heard people talk about as a reptile brain, because this is the part of our brain that developed first, okay? It's our danger detector. It has the shortest nerves, and it can take over your body very fast in a split second. It's designed for this purpose, okay, to go fast, and it's powerful. It takes over your entire body by filling it with stress hormones like cortisol, and it's tensing our muscles for action, okay? This response is designed to produce a short-term psychological response to a stressful situation, like encountering a rival tribe or outrunning a tiger, then quickly returning to the baseline of homeostasis. Later, our brain evolved the parasympathetic nervous system. This is the rest and digest mode, and the job of the parasympathetic nervous system is to return the body to a peaceful, restful state, okay? This is called homeostasis, and this state promotes balance and harmony, and this is what happens. Our muscle relax, our blood pressure decreases, we produce more saliva for digestion, and when we are in this rest and digest state, we feel calm and composed, okay? We're open to connection with others and with this environment that we have. We have access to the other parts of our brain, like the neural cortex, the part of the brain that is responsible for creativity, reasoning, and problem solving, okay? Only when we are in this state, we can access our attention and the power of our imagination. Only when we are in a rest and digest mode, we can plan, have logical reasoning, and unlock our subconscious. All right, so in a savanna, the African savanna, okay, where our ancestors lived before, okay, that's how we started. It's been proven, science been proven. Energy was spent for food much of the time, but a lot of that time was downtime time, okay? Like when threats came and they arrived, they were like super fast. The threats weren't like every day and continuous like we have today. Our bodies were designed millions of years ago to go to like a threat very quickly and return to the resting state. Watch like how a lion hunts like a herd, and you'll see how quickly the herd shakes up the stress. They just go like this, and then they return back to grazing, okay? We are made to recover from this drama, okay, and release positive chemicals like oxytocin and serotonin. Those hormones promote kindness and connection. To be kind, content, and caring is the baseline of our species. Please read this book called Sapiens by Yuval Noah Harari, and you'll learn so much about how we evolved and why our species became the dominant species. Because we are not as strong as chimpanzees, right? But we connect with each other better. This is why we evolved. That's why we survived. Because we trust each other. If we lie and cheat and steal and kill, we will be shunned from the tribe. Yeah, that's why I teach you all this stuff all the time. It's for your own evolution. The problem is that evolution takes millions of years to adapt to this environment, okay? And humans have completely changed this environment we live right now, just in a few thousand years. We lived as hunter-gatherers in groups of 50 to 150 until 8,000 years ago. That's disputable, right? But for now, until all the science books change it, we're gonna go with it, okay? In today, fast-paced world, anxiety-provoking world, we are full of uncertainty and problems, and that triggers that fight or flight response. And because it's constant, we are chronically activating our stress response with this very insignificant threats. Okay, essentially, when you are responding to like a passive aggressive, oh, look at him, hi BB, oh, sorry, he doesn't want that, never mind. But like, look, when you are responding to a passive aggressive comment or like a work email with the same hardware that was designed to process a tiger attack or another tribe that comes to attack you, every time you get triggered because your mom yells at you or your brain is processing, like, basically your brain thinks it's a tiger attack. Yeah. These unreal, insignificant threats are chronic, and these activations of the fight, flight, freeze response are releasing these inflammatory proteins, which have major damaging effects on the body and the mind. This is called stress. Stress creates heart disease, weakens your immune system, and develops cancer in your body, okay? We pay a huge price in terms of health and longevity because of chronic stress. Right now, in our history, we can say that this fight, flight, or freeze response, although it's extremely vital to our survival, to our species, is more like an evolutionary curse or baggage that is no longer suited to this reality that we live in, okay? The way we live right now, it's not suited for this world, this old hardware. Oh my God, what happened here? What is this? This is crazy. So the way we live right now, it's not good for this reality, okay? For this new world that we live, okay? Like the hardware that we have is old, right? And we can't get a hardware upgrade. The only thing we can do is learn to recognize the stress as soon as it comes and process it a little bit different, okay? Here's some facts about your hardware. This will help you understand why managing stress is vital for your survival and for your success. The primary activity of the sympathetic nervous system is to mobilize the body's flight, fight, or freeze response. This controls the body's response to a perceived threat, okay? It has shorter neurons pathways, which equal faster response time, okay? The body speeds up, becomes more alert, and The functions that are not critical will shut down. The heart increases contraction, raises heart rate. In your lungs, the bronchial tubes dilate, so you get more oxygen to your body. Your muscles will contract, so you prepare to run or fight. Your pupils will dilate, so you can see better, right? And saliva secretion is non-existent because you don't need food right now. So you'll have a dry mouth, okay? On the other hand, the primary activity of the parasympathetic nervous system is to regulate the body's rest and digest response. This controls the body's response at rest, okay? It has longer neuron pathways, which equal longer response time. The body is restored to a state of calm. It decreases heart rate. Your bronchial tubes construct your muscle and they get relaxed. Your pupils contract, your saliva secretion increases for digestion. So to clearly understand how stress works, you need to know that impulses are propagated through the nerves, okay? These are neurotransmitters. This term neurotransmitters is used the same as hormones, but the difference is that the neurotransmitters are released from the endings of nerves to endings of nerves, while the hormones are released into the blood system. There's over 100 neurotransmitters in the brain, and they have evolved to regulate a variety of functions, most of which operate at the unconscious level. And that includes heart rate, we talked about that, blood pressure, temperature, digestion, and our responses to stress, a lot more stuff. But 4 of these neurotransmitters are responsible for our sense of happiness and well-being and positive feelings. And they're very critical to our survival, okay? You know what they are? They are dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and endorphins. These are called happy hormones. I have a tattoo of this chemical bond to remind myself to be happy. So every time I look at it, I go, yes, dopamine. So dopamine is called the reward chemical because it's associated with pleasure, satisfaction, and motivation, as well as learning and memory. It also associated with the flow state, which is that experience of being so absorbed into something, into certain things, that your attention is completely like held by it. I go whitewater rafting a lot just to get there, okay? All right, so serotonin is called a mood stabilizer, and it's associated with happiness, sleep regulation, and appetite. It's also associated with improving your ability to learn and improving your memory. What are you doing? I think there's somebody here. Hold on. All right, that was just a person. So, low levels of serotonin are associated with depression, anxiety, mania, and other mental disorders. This is why I say all the time, we need to be informed about these levels of serotonin that we have, because we can improve our life so much with just a little pharmaceuticals, right? With a little bit of help. But if you don't even admit you need help, because you're ashamed or who knows, you can't get better. We need to recognize that a lot of people are struggling, and we need to be informed, okay, because we can help them. All right, so next one is oxytocin, and it's called the love hormone because it's associated with romantic attachment, with bonding, with intimacy, with connection, with trust, with sexual arousal. And the next one is endorphins. Endorphins are our body's natural painkiller. They're released in response to pain or stress, and they can create a general feeling of well-being. We know about runner's high, right? But you can get them by working out, by eating chocolate, yes, eating chocolate, by laughing, by having sex, or meditating, yeah. All right, I'm out of time because I have to go, but I wanted to talk to you about cortisol, adrenaline, and norepinephrine. We'll unpack that next time, but for now, don't lie, don't steal, don't cheat, and don't kill any insects today. Mwah. Look how pretty it is. Say hi, hi, hi.